Hello everyone. Today we will be learn our new architecture aptitude topic, ancient civilization, Egypt civilization. The civilization of ancient Egypt began in the Nile River Valley of northeastern Africa. The ancient Egypt was one of the world's first civilizations. It is also one of the most famous civilizations in history. The ancient Egyptians built huge pyramids, temples, palaces, and tombs. Over the course of some 5 millennia, the ancient Egyptians developed a distinctive materials culture shaped in large part by their local geography, natural resources, and relationship with the Nile River in the 5th century BC. Every aspect of life in Egypt depended on the river. The Nile provided food and resources, land for agriculture, a means of travel, and was critical in the transportation of materials for building projects and other large scale endeavors. It was a critical lifeline that literally brought life to the desert. Talking about the geography, the ancient Egypt was located in northeastern Africa and had four clear geographic zones: the delta zone, which we can observe, this green zone, which is the delta zone, the west desert, so this one is the west desert, east desert, and Nile River Valley. Each of these zones had its own natural environment and its own role within the Egyptian state. To be considered a civilization, the seven following requirements must be met: stable food supply, social structure, system of government, religious system, highly developed culture, advance in technology, and highly developed written language. So these are considered a civilization requirements. Now talking about the show social structure. Social structure is divided into six parts. Pharaohs, they were the king and queen of Egypt. Government officials, this was the highest social class after the pharaoh. Many officials were nobles who inherited their jobs, but some of rose to power. Priests, priests were powerful and respected. They advised the pharaoh, oversaw religious ceremonies, took care of temple gods, and prepared bodies for the afterlife. Scribes were Egypt's official writers and record keeper. They were well paid and respected. They trained for many years in special school and Egypt's writing like symbols. Artisans, this highly skilled labor created beautiful objects but got little respect. Stone carvers were among the most skilled and important artisans. Peasants, this lowest and largest social class, grew crops that supplied food and also helped build monuments such as the pyramids. So here we can see the social structure pyramid, which is divided into again six parts: pharaoh, government officials, priests, scribes, artisans, and peasants. Next is talking about the religious system. There were over 2000 god and goddesses in ancient civilization, Egypt civilization. They had gods for everything, including their air and knowledge. Egyptian god and goddesses had the body of human, which we can observe. Body of human, but the heads of animals, which we can observe. Body of human and heads of animal. Cats were considered sacred in ancient Egypt. The Egyptians believed that there was a life after death. Now, talking about the architecture. The best known example of ancient Egyptian architecture are the Egyptian pyramids, while excavated temples, palaces, tombs, and fortresses have also been studied. Most buildings were built of locally available mud brick and limestone by levied workers. Apart from the pyramids, Egyptian buildings were decorated with painting, carved stone images, three-dimensional statues. The art tells the story of the pharaohs, the gods, the common people, and the natural world of plants, birds, and animals. So here we can see these are the four most important and four most popular examples, architectural masterpiece of Egyptian civilization: Luxor Temple, the Great Pyramid of Giza, Temple of Karnak, and Temple of Abu Simbel. So these are the important and popular examples of Egyptian civilization. Again, as a material, building material, stone was generally preferred for the temples and pyramids. Houses were usually made out of mud bricks, which we can observe. Most buildings contains flat roofs supported by external walls and columns. Walls and columns were often covered in the writing system used in ancient Egypt. Egypt writing system. The ancient Egyptians used the distinctive script known today as a hieroglyphs for amongst the 4000 years. Hieroglyphs were written on papyrus carved in stone or tomb and temple walls and used to decorate many objects of cultic and daily life use. So let's have a quick recap. The civilization of ancient Egypt began in the Nile River Valley of northeastern Africa. Ancient Egypt was one of the world's first civilizations. It is also one of the most famous civilizations in history. The ancient Egyptians built huge pyramid temples, palaces, and the tombs. To be considered a civilization, the seven following requirements must be met: stable food supply, social structure, system of government, religious system, highly developed culture, advanced in technology, and highly developed written languages. Thank you.